Yeah, Grand Rising again, living people. Now I say a cry for unite. I go on over the whole continent. Call Africa. Alkibola. Mother of us all. Saying the key thing is you have to remember this is possible. Because it was in the beginning. But I also have to say this. We have to unite in a knowledge. Right? Unite in a knowledge. Please. The leaders, them are the ones them who are inside the unity. Please educate the populace. Educate the populace. The whole populace of the continent, from Zamibia to South Africa, believe they are black people because they were educated into believing they are black people. We are not black people. We were called black people because we never identified ourselves on paper in the system, in the states that we live. Every state or every name that you see on the continent called Africa, called a state, is a company run by individuals. You seeing? Now, as we said before, when you identify with a company, the company owns you. Now, the company can't own living people. Seeing? So you have an ID as non-living entity, dead. I saw a brother say, I no longer identify as Namibian, Gambian, where I am African. You're right, but you're just one click short like John the Baptist. John the Baptist was passionate, but he only knew enough. Until later on when the Messiah came, he had to educate John. The followers of the Messiah educated John. They educated John the Baptist that you have it, you're just off by a click. We are not Africans. Africans are, the term Africa came from the Roman centurion Albius Africanus. Saying, and that was with two A's, A-F-R-I-C-A-A-N-S, U-S. This was a Roman centurion who supposedly conquered Africa, or conquered the continent, they said, and renamed it. Saying, again, Africa is the name of a corporation, like South Africa is the name of a corporation. All these names are owned, are companies. We have to go indigenous. The only way the continent can be free is to go back to where the ancestors started. Being indigenous, identifying as indigenous. When you identify as a state citizen, you're saying you never existed before the state. Now your genealogy and your ancestry and your lineage existed before the state. So if you identify as after the state, then there's no way you have no rights, and there's no way you can have freedom, because you're identifying as a child of the state. And the state is not real. The state is just like it, a state of mind created on paper. It's not living. It's not real. They use living beings to fulfill the protocols of the state that was written and designed on paper. I need lawyers to come talk this. It's time for let go the people. Them lawyers leg on the oath. But want to take with the state for wealth and riches and start educate the people, them, or else the Almighty gonna visit on personally. It is time for free the people. Them. It is time, the right way. We're not black, because black means dead. No standing in law. A shade. In Black's Law Dictionary, the Book of the Dead, it tells you it means pretending to be what you're not. So if you're saying you're black and you're proud, and in the legal system, black means dead, lost at sea, an incompetent invalid, a ward of the state. These were all written by the British Empire. Saying King Henry VIII was the last one. Saying, and it has to be defended by the current administration, from King Charles, and the whole body have to stand on this protocol. Seeing, so for you politicians, aspiring politicians, and you all who trying to be a politician over your people, then you have to go read this document, the Sister QV Act of 1666, that declares that every crown land, anyone on the crown land have to operate under the crown principle and protocol. Saying, exactly. And black means dead. So when you identify as black, you're saying you're dead, incompetent, or invalid. So when the system that created this protocol see you identify as is, then they know where exactly to put you, how to deem you, if they should listen or not. Lawyers, it's time to help the people. We're not black, we're not African. These are the two misnomers. Africa comes from the African, comes from the Roman centurion, and it's a corporation. If you look it up, Africa is a corporation, a company that nobody don't know own. Nobody don't know who own it yet. South Africa is a corporation, Zimbabwe is a corporation, and every state belongs to the mother state. The first state who existed was the United States of America, created by Great Britain after they lost to the Americans. So America is different from the USA, incorporated. So if people return to them indigenous status, they could move freely anywhere without hindrance from the state, or they can be sued. President Churi, for you again, this is very important. Again, Burkina Faso, that name was created by Sankara. Sankara coined that name when I read the articles. Sankara. But after Sankara died, everything returned back to French rule. He created the name, but everything returned back. How is this possible? Because the people them are deemed dead, lost at sea, and invalid. On paper, they have a birth certificate. If you don't return the birth certificate to who created it and give them a born record, none will be free. The whole continent would be an ignorant set of slaves thinking they're free. And then the corporations now is gonna bring a war to kill everybody, because you're all dead entities. If I have a store and my goods them in my store, I try come against me, the owner, what me do? Burn down the store and start fresh. We don't want no war, because we got all die. These people use weapons. The Bible said they prescribe weapons. Seeing? Meaning they're using weapons now where you can't see. So when we have AK-47s and handguns that run up and down, we are going to die. We're not afraid. We are the children of God. We cannot be afraid. Fear is not of God. We just have peace, security, love, reassurance, development, oneness. We all can coexist together. Saying the forefathers them put us in a traps by deeming us how they deem us. And I'm talking about the forefathers of oppressors. Seeing, and now we born to learn the truth, and we are saying the magic trick is over. Seeing, the only way we can free ourselves from being deemed an African or a black, which means dead, and it's a company. And if it's a company own you, a company cannot own living beings. That's slavery. Ask anybody, ask your governor. Seeing, we are all deemed dead on paper because you never declared yourself at 7 years old. So again, Burkina Faso and all of the continent and all of in the earth were melanated like myself, and the Caucasian them need to defend this truth if there really is for peace and love and truth, and done away with all of this wickedness and slavery and forced labor without pay. If you're not with forced labor without pay, you should be speaking up against the injustices and seeing to it that these people are finally free. They are living in one of the most resourceful places, and they are dirt poor, not even asphalt on their roads. They can't find food for their children. The poverty is unimaginable, all because we are deemed lost and ignorant by the oppressors who created this shackle. Free yourself now. Create a born record, create a live life claim, and create a declaration. These three things: a born record replaces the birth certificate. The live life claim deems and identifies that you are living of a sound mind, not lost at sea, and trumps the Catholics' unam sanctum, which is testaments they wrote to say they own all life. This is what the Roman Catholic did. They created trusts that say they own all life without you even knowing. So in order to get rid of these shackles, we have to first, a born record replacing the birth certificate. We have to create a live life claim, which is identifying that you're living, your parents, you own your mind, soul and body, and you're a child of the Almighty Creator who created all living things. And you need a declaration that you're no longer a part of no contracts that you're not aware of with the state, and you're not own nothing where you never know about, and you need full disclosure before you can make any deals or any contracts. And if you're in a contract without full disclosure, it is deemed invalid. Saying, so you oppressors, it's time to let us go. I am coming like Moses to tell you, let the people of the Almighty go. Let the descendants of Abraham go. Let them go. People who listen to my voice, you need to put on public record in your community or your county a live life claim, a bond record, and a declaration and a fee schedule, saying you need to copyright your name or trademark the name that you have, because the name that you call in your name is not your name. Look on it, it is all capital, and a noun is not written in all capitals. Saying a noun represents living people, places, and things. So if you're in all capital, it tells you you're a dead. And if you're a dead, you should not be listened to. If someone listens to the dead, them dead too. This is why systems don't listen you. The Sister QV, written by the British Empire, states that if you identify that you are being doped or you are deemed dead, you should hurry up and fix your status. This is why you see Maroons and Indigenous people rising up everywhere. Educate yourself, men. Educate yourself, women. Help the people, help the picnic. Don't dead, left the picnic them in this. President Chori rose up and he stood and said no more oppression. And a lot of men rose up too. And I'm telling you, a man, if you're a true man, you should stand for something. Speak for something. We're not black. We're not Africans. We're from Al-Kibolan, that is the indigenous name. And everywhere carry different tribes, and we are all from the 12 tribes of Israel scattered. If you're not from the 12 tribes of Israel, you identify as a Samaritan. Samaritans worship beings in the stars. Still, they're not under the state. But you need to go for the right road, which is the creator of all living things, the Hebrew God, Yahuwah. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. We're not black. Black means dead, last at sea, and incompetent, invalid. Liars. 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 You know this. Y'all took an oath to keep this a secret. So if you come or anybody come and talk about the Almighty and not do law and not explain to the people that you're a dead entity, you're part of the problem, and the Almighty have something special for you. Don't worry. Please, children, I spoke, I told them. Children to come, I told them. I told them. I told them. Most of them are too afraid. Probably their parents are cowards. I told them. It's time now. County where you're at. Live life claim declaration and bond record. This is going to identify you in the court system as living. Giving you all your rights and ownership to lands. And you can travel. You just have to create a document and you travel back and forth. Maroon government. What are you doing? What are you doing? People not have no much 100,000 figure pay for no ID. Them not have no much money for pay for no ID. Find me and say help the people them. No land, no reclaim. I don't see anything reclaim. Maroon government. What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? Eh? When I ramp with God people and so when I represent Israelite, what are you doing? People don't have how much 100 US we go buy for free themselves. Find ways to get the people them free for much cheaper than that. The people upon them land and can't access no resources. The people them in the Al-Kibolan continent can't access no resources because them deemed dead on paper. President Chori fix this too. Indigenous, bring back everybody to indigenous free natives on the land. This is the only way they have power and say over the land, or they can't do nothing. If you dead and the army dead, they gone back to slavery. Jesus Christ of Nazareth, man.